Yeah, you know what it is. Everything I do it big. Yeah, screaming that's nothing. When I pulled off the lot, that's nothing. Right in my town, when you see me, you know everything.
I saw Wiz Khalifa open up. I was backstage. Might have been Fall Out Boy. I was doing an interview with Fall Out Boy, and I'm watching Wiz Khalifa. He's as high as a kite, and he's got no shirt on. He's standing in front of a step and repeat for people to take photos. So people would come in, and he was carrying on a conversation with someone off to the left. So he just kept looking. He would just put his hands over whoever came in, keep on talking. They'd snap the photo. He'd lift his arms up. They'd walk out. He never broke conversation. I was like,
It's like a ride at Seabreeze.
This guy didn't give a shit who he was. He had no idea. He didn't care. He didn't care. I was like, can't you show just a little interest in your fans? Like, people were excited to meet him, and no. But I found that very entertaining. And there were two girls from a radio station who were so excited to be near Wiz Khalifa. I remember watching this going, yeah, okay. All right, there it is.
I remember all the remakes of this song, too. During the Steelers-Packers Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There was black and yellow. Then there was green and yellow. And then Norm Kiefer at St. John Fisher made a remix for Fisher of red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
He commandeered somebody to make a red and yellow remix for the Cardinals. Damn, we're going to play this song when they get introduced.
All right.
Like, okay.
We'll call Peter and find out how Peter's feeling about the Buffalo Bills.
He's sending me tape like leading up to the segment.
I almost FaceTime Peter. I didn't want to do that. There it is.
It's a great American.
Peter's?
Yes.
Well, you went to Fisher with Peter.
Oh, yeah.
St. John Fisher.
He's around more your age, though.
Peter? Peter?
Hello. Whose age?
No, he said you went to Fisher with Peter. I said, no, he's more like your age, Bill's age. You're more like your Bill's generation, right?
I remember Bill wouldn't, because I think I was a freshman, Bill, when you were a senior.
Okay.
But for some reason, I remember one time in Basil Hall.
Uh-huh.
Your head
I don't know.
Playing bombs away?
So I'm sitting there in the area where they have the couches there. Some guy comes up to me and goes, "Yo, see that guy? That's Bill Moran," and walks away.
I almost just spit out my water.
Was he sniffing couch cushions at any point?
No, I wasn't. The only reason that would even be brought up was the fact that I was on the radio. That's why, I think.
Maybe.
I think that's why.
And that's all. They didn't even give me a chance to say who, what. The guy just walked.
So Megan O'Connor, you remember her?
Of course,
maybe
I do.
both of you do.
Yeah,
she used to be a producer at Channel 13. I think she went on to Pittsburgh or something. She told a story where she goes, "Oh yeah, we went to school. And Dr. Vicker was very hard on everyone except Bill Moran. She just thought Bill Moran was the greatest student ever."
Jesus Christ, I didn't. Maybe I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
The statue's going up next week.
Yeah.
Statue's being erected next week.
But it's at Cortland, not St. John Fisher University.
It's going to come down like Saddam Hussein. It's going to be rolling everywhere. All right, so
Happy
Peter,
New Year, guys. Happy New Year. I don't know if we reached the etiquette. I don't know how long when you should stop
no,
saying that.
I think you can even go the month. If you see people or you haven't talked to them, at least the month of January, and then shut your pie hole.
I go July.
Noted.
Yeah,
Noted.
That's what I would think, but I don't know. Peter, I got to tell you that Miami game had me, I would assume everybody, on the edge of your seat. And it seemed like Deontay Hardy saved Buffalo's Super Bowl hopes.
Oh.
Did they? I really do. I think, and that seemed to be the switch. And then Josh came in, and all of a sudden he was the Josh we wanted him to be. And so I always go, what is going on here?
It's a big conundrum.
It is.
Like you said, though, Hardy that was a great job of the entire return team.
Yeah,
it was a great job. Wasn't touched. Wasn't anywhere near to being touched. So that was it. They needed some kind of kick in the pants. They got it, and then Superman returned.
Yeah, because usually you don't want to be drifting back past the 10-yard line.
Right. He drifts to the 3. And I'm yelling. What are you doing?
The old adage, and I don't know what has changed throughout the fundamentals of this thing, but in the old days, the term was if your heels are on the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
As the punt returner. If your heels are on the 10, let it go.
Right.
That's gone in today's game. They're fielding it at the 1, the 3, 5, and for all intents and purposes, that ball probably goes into the end zone if he lets it go. But he also probably saw what we all did. Like, man, I got a chance here. So they gave him the autonomy. If you think you can get a good return, take it. And I think that's what coaches are giving these players now. Basically, I'm on the field, seeing what's in front of me, give me the chance to make a play. And he did. He did.
Well, look, so they get by Miami. Miami's going to play in what is predicted to be the coldest game ever in the NFL in Kansas City.
Which is saying something.
Yeah. When is that game? Is that Saturday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night, 8 o'clock.
On Peacock. You have to get Peacock.
I have Peacock.
Most people in Western New York already have it because of the Bills game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did. I do have it for that. But I don't know if I feel like even watch. Well, I do want to watch.
Well, I'm going to watch all
I want to watch Miami get beat. Don't you just a little bit? Because I don't think
Miami's going to win that game.
I wouldn't mind if Miami won.
I don't think they win it. I really don't.
I don't think they do either.
Kansas City's circling the drain right now.
They could be. I don't know if they get much further in the playoffs, but I don't. I think they beat Miami.
We're doing all these State Farm commercials.
Miami just signed 3 guys that were on the couch last week. So I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It did, no doubt. But these guys are on the couch and now they're playing in a playoff game in Kansas City in 5-degree weather.
Is that the American dream?
They are hurting. Right. But
Pete, like if somebody called you the Bills need an aging linebacker who played college football. Hey, I'm right here. I'm playing.
An aging linebacker. Boy, is there more?
He's almost 50. I mean,
well, that's okay. Fine. Doesn't feel it. Not in his mind.
He likes the general manager Philly more than his friend.
I trip in the tunnel.
I would trip in the tunnel and bust my ACL before I even hit the field. Yeah.
Hey,
game checks still count. Game still gets cashed.
$21,000, I think, a game for playoffs.
Peter, my wild Belichick theory is if Buffalo loses to the Steelers, he's the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, wow. That's a theory. That's a theory.
I would love to.
Because I do think he's going to end up
shake his hand at training
I will
camp.
say, just on the Belichick thing, only because it overshadowed the NFL's big news today that not only are they playing games overseas in London and also in Germany, but now in Brazil. We're going to Brazil this year, and I have a funny feeling that the Bills could be one of those teams because they're not playing in Europe. They announced the teams that are playing in Europe is not the Bills.
Well, the Bills wouldn't go this year. They don't have the extra home game.
Okay.
They went last year, so I don't think they go for another couple years.
It depends really on the team's preference. The other thing, too, is that the Bills went last year or this year, so they're not going to send them in back-to-back years.
Well, they send the Jags every year, but obviously
they want to.
Shad wants to go every year.
But why Brazil? I mean, Brazil seems to me like
same time zone.
No, I understand that.
It's safer than Mexico City.
Is it?
I don't know about that because I know a guy.
Seriously, my question.
I know
in Mexico City, you're right. It's very dangerous. That's why I even questioned why they were playing there.
Mexico City, the altitude is beyond Denver. It's like 1.5 miles up. And the other thing is like the meat and stuff. Like they have to bring their own food and everything because the meat could have steroids in it, which you could test positive for. They've said this. Now in Brazil,
you don't think Brazil's going to be just as bad?
Here's the thing. I have a friend who worked in Brazil, and he says everything in Brazil, including the women, are designed to kill you. That's what he said. Everything in Brazil, including the women, are designed to kill you.
Well,
that's a whole podcast segment in and of itself.
Some people may die a happy traveler. I don't know. All right, so what do we think, Peter, as the Steelers are coming in? I hear you have some reservations.
Watching the Steelers. Now, I had to watch a couple of games where, Kenny Pickett wasn't under center. Trubisky wasn't under center. Got to look at what Mason Rudolph, because he's coming in. He's playing. He's the one that has the most consistent hand. And the offense has performed a lot better with him. When it comes to Mason Rudolph, you do not have to worry about a running quarterback. But he comes in with a lot of confidence. I watched that entire Seattle game. He stands in the pocket. He reads his progressions. His line gives him time. Now, the Seattle defensive front is a little different than the Buffalo defensive front from a pressure perspective. But they have to put pressure on Mason Rudolph. They cannot let him read through his progressions and deliver the ball. He has a quick release. He is confident. He has a very good arm. And their offensive line looked pretty good. I will say that they're pretty athletic guys. They move their legs. They get up to the second level, and they open holes for these two running backs who are terrific. I mean, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, those guys do not go. You cannot arm tackle these guys. The Buffalo Bills defense, they have to game tackle both of them.
Is Harris playing? Najee, I thought he was.
So.
I thought he was injured.
Oh wait,
no.
I just see. I am no. I don't see him on an injury report.
I don't know why I thought that in my head.
And Mason Rudolph's mom was hot.
Wait, that's Mason Rudolph's mom?
Yes.
Let me see this.
Take your glasses off.
Yeah, take your glasses off. Zooming in.
She's all right. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Some people say she looks like Janet Jackson.
How old is Mason Rudolph?
He's Allen's age. He was the same draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the same. I think he was taken in the second round, if I'm not mistaken.
Second round.
Yeah.
Mom's attractive, but I mean, that's Pittsburgh. I've seen that. I'm over it.
It's not what's his name? It's not Zach Wilson's mom.
No. Zach Wilson's mom's kind of cute, though.
Yeah,
more
she
than
is.
Pretty. She's cute. She's like the aging cheerleader. No, she doesn't.
She's a little annoying.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I get that vibe. That's why I say she's the annoying cheerleader that still puts on her outfit and tells you how it fits.
You would kick Mason's mom out of bed for Manning Brothers.
And then won't fulfill any of your fantasies. She goes, I'm taking it off. You didn't do the dishes. You didn't take out the garbage. Whatever. All right, so Najee Harris you're worried about. Mason Rudolph being confident. I like the Bills' defense. You have to say this. I don't know where we would be if changes hadn't been made to the coaching staff on both sides. Defensive coordinator last year, Leslie Frazier, being what has he got? A sabbatical? I don't know what he's doing.
He actually interviewed for the Chargers head coach.
Of course he did, because
we need to interview a black guy.
No, yes,
that's why.
Yes, okay.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, but he is certainly. I could see him. I don't know if he's head coach guy, but he's certainly a coordinator. But the defense didn't miss a beat, and there's been a shit ton of injuries on that defense.
Defense has actually played better.
Yeah,
they have. They've played better.
They've come together as a unit very well. They've come together as a unit very well. With pieced it together after Milano gets hurt, and then the injuries that they had at the beginning of the year. But Bill, to your question before, I don't like the 10-point spread. I think it's too big. We've seen it all year. The Bills are 7-10 against the spread this year, and when the spread is more than 7 points, I think it's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 13 against the Chargers. They couldn't cover. It was 14 against the Patriots. Couldn't cover. And there were a couple of games earlier in the year where I think the Denver game, there was a bigger spread. They almost lose that game. Or they did lose that game because of 12 men in the field. So
Giants game.
I don't like.
But if you want Pittsburgh, get that 10 points now, because that's probably going to drop with the weather they're talking about.
Yeah, the Giants game was a 2-touchdown game.
Yes, exactly. And then they may change the venue. They may change the venue.
No, they said specifically they're not changing it.
That's not that. No, that was refuted. Sal Capaccio refuted it. They're not changing the venue, but the weather's going to be pretty bad.
But get your Pittsburgh pretty bad if you can.
Wind chill in the zeros.
Wind chill in the zeros. Oh, big gusts too, because we're supposed to have a windstorm. It was windy yesterday. We're supposed to go Friday into Saturday morning again. Pretty bad here.
But the thing is, the Bills.
I'm not worried about the snow. I'm worried about the wind.
Right.
Yeah. So that puts it as a running game then.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we seem to be okay.
I think that's an advantage. I think in terms of, Cook has done well running the ball, right? Fournette's doesn't have enough. I don't think he has enough snaps to really give him you can look at his past body of work. But in the snow, is Cook a different runner than looking at Najee Harris, looking at Jalen Warren? These guys just churn and churn, and they'll take on a hit, and they will put their helmet down, and they will run over you. I don't see that with Cook. So if it's a bad weather game, it's a wind game, I see advantage Pittsburgh from an offensive perspective because of that. Because if it's a running game, I can't say advantage Buffalo. I can't. Although they've done well this year, Cook is a different type of runner than when you look across the field and you see Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Two different guys. And I would think because of Josh Allen, who he is, and the ability to score at will, even if it is a windstorm, that the coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to try to keep the ball away from him. So they will churn. They will use the clock. They will use the play clock, churn, 3 yards in a cloud of dust or a cloud of snow at this point. and just keep the chains moving. I think it's going to be definitely the under. I think the over under is 36.
So they're saying intense, bitter cold with intense snowfall in Buffalo. If it hits right, it could be 1 to 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So Greg, book your room now.
Wow.
Hopefully his windshield.
So
wipers
if you can
don't
get
fly
Pittsburgh
off.
plus 10, I would take that all day long because you're gonna even if
I
Buffalo
would take
wins, it's
I
not
would
gonna be
take
more than a 6-3 game.
The Bills are not great in
I would
weather.
take it.
They're not great in weather.
No.
Oh, no
they're
team
not.
is great in weather.
No, yeah, but they're
No.
consistently bad.
They're
in
human
weather.
beings. Yes, I understand. I know what you're saying. I
Look,
just like to
Pittsburgh
argue.
did great in weather last week. Pittsburgh did great in weather.
Right.
I love just contradicting Dan because he comes like an authority on everything at times. And
My wife says the same thing. My wife says the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny.
You speak with such authority.
Well, it makes me laugh.
And then the conspiracies.
Makes me laugh.
How do you know the federal interest rate's going to go down?
Because he last night referred to himself as Cliff Clavin.
Yeah, you know what, Peter? I got to tell you.
Yeah, you also misheard Dink for Dick.
I got a theory.
I got a good opinion from Danny today on what's his name over there on ESPN and Aaron Rodgers, that whole saga.
Pat McAfee.
Well,
crazy.
Aaron
Pat
Rodgers
McAfee,
was
yeah.
back on today, but they
Right.
did
I did
say they
He
did
only talk sports today, they said.
well, probably, but they said I thought they were going to bring him back on for big events, and this was a big event. Belichick, is he the longest serving coach at
Yes.
one team?
Yes.
At 24 years, 24 seasons.
I think currently some of
was there
like the Landrys and Shulas were much, I think, longer than
Yeah,
that.
Landry coached for 29 years.
29? Okay,
Shula was there for a while.
Shula was in Miami from like 66 to 95. So he was there for 30 years.
30 years. It's a rarity. I mean, you don't see that. What's the average now? 3 years,
Gosh,
5 years?
2.5 years,
I
maybe.
think that makes Tomlin now, I think, the current longest.
Tomlin's the current longest running head
He
coach.
may be out after Sunday, too. Then.
Yeah, that's
he may quit.
Yeah. Can you imagine Belichick in Pittsburgh? Holy shit. Think about that one for a second.
Wow. Yeah, but they don't really.
Still saying San Diego because they got a quarterback.
I
Still-
know.
I'm
yeah.
pitching my wagon to San Diego.
I'm
Thank you, Danny. Thank
I know,
you.
I know. I
Thank
do it. I still do it too because they don't feel like the LA Chargers.
I will tell you,
No,
Peter,
no.
I think that it's going to be Philadelphia.
I say Dallas or Alabama.
I think if Philadelphia loses to Tampa,
Really?
I think that he
Wow.
goes to Philly because they have a quarterback. They have all the pieces there.
I
They
say
have
the
all the pieces.
I say the Rochester Razor Sharks.
to resurrect them again.
the brigade.
So what do you think the final score is going to be on Sunday?
I mean, I see 16-13 game.
Wow.
I can see that.
16-13 game.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, if it's good, it's not going to be good weather, right? So let's say it's not a foot of snow. Say it's 3 inches of snow. But if the wind picks up, that is a detriment to the Bills. So I really believe that. I mean, if unless they want to play short game pass, which they could,
Yeah.
but are they going to be able to throw the ball down the field at will? No. And that's not Pittsburgh's game either.
No.
Mason does make some nice throws, but he misses some throws. Allen makes some nice throws, but he misses some throws. So these teams are now that Pittsburgh all year, they've been the joke of the league. Their offense has been terrible, XYZ. They're changing the quarterback, the turnstile there. But the past couple of games, they've looked confident football team. And they're losing Watt is huge.
Yeah.
That's big for the Bills. For him not to be on the field is huge. They have to take advantage of that. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they do some things on offense that are kind of old school. They'll run 13 personnel with 3 tight ends and 1 running back. They ran that 12 times against Seattle. And one time, Seattle had 9 guys in the box. 9 guys. And Pittsburgh ran for 24 yards.
Wow. Okay.
So they know their strengths. They know, situational football. They do a good job at it. They run the old school draw, where the quarterback looks like he's going to pass and then he hands it off to the running back. You don't see that much anymore.
Yeah,
They run
you don't.
They run it. So you'll see some old school stuff in a lot of pre-snap motion. Ton of it. A ton of pre-snap motion you're going to see just to dictate what the coverage is to give Mason Rudolph a better idea as to what he's looking at
Peter,
pre-snap. So they do a lot.
let's get to something important, though. What are you going to be eating during the game? What's on the menu?
It's probably going to be a chicken wing, buffalo chicken wing dip.
Yeah. Oh, chicken wing dip. All right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
My wife makes a great chicken wing dip.
Yeah.
Peter's got a double header.
Fantastic.
Peter's got a double header because his wife's Lions are in the playoffs. And I think
right.
they're playing
8
Sunday
o'clock.
night, right? Yeah.
8 o'clock. Yep. Yep.
So
And then I got a
nice little reprieve, take a nap in between.
You got to put the kids to bed.
little nap, change my uniform.
Yeah.
Put the Lions gear on at night.
That's right. You got
And then Monday night.
You know you're going to drop some chicken wing dip on your shirt somewhere, Peter.
Exactly.
You're going to be so
I'm gonna
excited. You're
change
yelling
my
at
uniform.
somebody, yelling at the TV, big, right down the belly. That's what happens.
I won't do it this year, but last year, Bill, during the Bengals game, Dan, I don't know if I told you this during the game or not, but after the first half, I knew what I saw in the first half. After the halftime, I said, if they don't score, I told my wife, if they don't score a point in this drive, I'm shutting it off.
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
you texted us. We were doing a show from O'Connor.
And I shut the game off. I said, I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm seeing. And certainly, and sure enough, they didn't score another point. I just couldn't bear to watch that dismantling. So I don't think we're going to see that kind of game. I think they're going to show up, but it's going to be a battle. It's not going to be a 10-point victory by the Bills. If it is, hey, I hope I'm wrong. Like I said all year, I hope I am wrong. But, just looking at everything I'm looking at, I don't know what Vegas is coming up with 10 points. I really don't.
So, Peter, I got to tell you this. So, from Pro Football Focus, this is hysterical. These stats about Allen, because it's going to lead me somewhere else. But league leader in total yards, Josh Allen. League leader in total touchdowns. Scored 86% of the Bills' touchdowns. Best record versus playoff teams, 5-1. Best Pro Football Focus grade versus playoff teams. Third in passing grade, fourth in rushing grade by a quarterback, and he's the least sacked quarterback in the NFL. And yet, since Ken Dorsey's been fired, his numbers as far as passing are down and are not as good. So with Joe Brady, how would you grade Joe Brady as an offensive coordinator right now, considering the fact that the offense has got to run through Allen?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do I grade Joe Brady? I mean, I think Joe Brady has brought back some semblance of an actual game plan. Like I always thought that Dorsey was calling plays and then Brady prepared to call a game. You saw more pre-snap motion, which is incredibly important in a play action game and for Allen to decipher some things on the defense. Cook played a huge role, more than he played, I think, with Dorsey. So, more of a semblance of an actual offense, but getting down to the nitty gritty of the actual plays within the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to diagnose. There are some things that should have happened over the past couple of weeks that didn't.
Right. And some of those, I would say too, some of those I would put on the receivers. You've had Gabe Davis dropping a lot of passes, and
James Cook dropped a touchdown.
Well, James Cook too, but I also think they picked up the running a little bit more with Brady, right? The piece of the offense we hadn't seen, not consistently and not well. And then Allen, I think Allen's still been Allen from time to time, but there have been some balls. I don't know if he throws them too hard. I don't know if these guys.
Do you know who Josh Allen is? He's the Ric Flair of quarterbacks. Okay, he somehow escapes by the skin of his teeth at the end of the match. He just finds a way to win after putting us through
that's all we want.
Yeah, and that interception that he threw, where Gabe Davis was, maybe possibly miscommunication, and kind of off his back foot, he threw it in the end zone. The play before that, Dan, that's the video I sent you. Bill, I don't know if you saw it yet.
You heard it.
No, I did. I heard your commentary.
I played it.
Where he had a clean pocket.
Yeah, the play before the Gabe Davis.
Clean pocket, and Kincaid is wide open in the back of the end zone. Yet he's got his eyes on Knox, who it's going to be an effort to make a catch and get into the end zone. Kincaid is wide open, and he's falling back. He's not stepping up, and there's a clean pocket in front of him. And sure, there was a defender coming in from the edge, and all he needs to do is step up because the defender's taking a different angle. Step up in the pocket. He needs to flick his wrist. He doesn't even have to really step into it. And it's a touchdown, and I want to know why he's making the decisions. Now, I always say, as someone who's watching the film, we don't know the sight line of the quarterback on the field. But viewing that, it didn't seem to me that anything was in his sight line. He had his eyes fixated on Dawson Knox, and I'm not sure why he made that decision. But you know what? You live and die by it, because he had those awful interceptions. He misses his throw. and then look at the throw he made to Shakir later on the game.
Unbelievable. And even one,
my goodness.
That, and even one to Stephon Diggs. There was one that I went, wow, that was amazing. All right,
and then
Peter.
He gets pickpocketed on a sack. So it's gosh, it's like feels like Brett Favre back there. But we shall see, gentlemen. We shall see. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers in 10 points. I tell you.
By the way, be remiss we didn't mention this. A lot of guys missed practice today. Deion Dawkins and Dawson Knox both due to illness. Okay, but Tyrell Dodson, Rasul Douglas, Leonard Floyd. Deontay Hardy also missed practice because of something else. But Micah Hyde, a lot of these guys, Micah Hyde practiced today, but a lot of guys missed practice because of injuries. Yeah. So
at this time of the year, nobody's 100%. Everybody has a bump and a bruise, and it's the survival of the fittest out there. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 4-quarter game, guys, and let's see what happens.
All right, Peter, enjoy that buffalo chicken wing dip.
Can't wait.
If you don't enjoy the game, at least enjoy that.
Right. I will watch 60 Minutes this year, I promise.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Pete.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
There we go. Well,
By the way, did you hear the controversy in Buffalo?
No.
So, like all the Buffalo radio stations decided not to follow suit and not play Taylor Swift songs the week the Bills were playing the Chiefs. It was like, come on, we still got to play Taylor Swift. There's a bar called Riverworks, and they're having a big Steelers party on Sunday for all the Steelers fans who live in the area, because there's a lot of Steelers fans who live in Buffalo and Rochester too. There's Steelers bars here in town, and a lot of people are giving Riverworks crap, and all these Bills fans came to their defense and said, come on, man, it's a bar. It's a Steelers bar.
Who's giving them crap?
Well, like other Bills fans, how could you let them Steelers have a party in Buffalo? And it's like, no one's going to be at the bar. What? They're all going to be at home or at the stadium.
Riverworks is awesome, but good luck getting parking in there.
I've been. Oh, is that where you and I went? In Buffalo? Didn't we grab
No, it was Pearl Street.
Oh, that was Pearl Street. Okay.
How often do you guys hang out?
Oh, a little more often than you think.
I guess.
Buddy.
I guess
we have secret meetings.
This was BD before Dan.
Yeah, it was before Dan.
Or was it before and after?
All right, we'll take a moment.
Between Dan?
To take a little bit of. I don't know about that. Buddy, that's a whole new different.
Sandwich.
Wow, that's a little different. Hey, if you want an RV for the game.
Yeah, take it. Yeah.
You all right?
You might need to sleep in it that night.
Myers RVs, their New Year, New Start RV Dome Show going on now all weekend long, right through Monday, January 15th. You can get up to 50% off MSRP on top brands like Jayco, Winnebago, Grand Design, Brinkley, Keystone, Forest River, and Thor. Browse over 200 new and used motorhomes, travel trailers, and fifth wheels. See the Keystone Hideout 21-foot bunkhouse. These are so cool. It's like genius design in these, right? The way everything just fits so perfectly. This bunkhouse travel trailer for just $14,895. Highest trade-in allowances for the show. You're going to find the best brands at the best prices. All discounts are clearly marked. The New Year, New Start RV Dome Show. Free admission and free parking January 10th through Monday, January 15th. So it's going on right now, right through the 15th at the Rochester Dome. That's 2695 East Henrietta Road. And you can learn more at MyersRVs.com.